Alrighty, we're live. Why, hello there everyone. I'm the Kumo Sensei, and yeah, I'm back. I don't really have too much of a plan today. It's essentially a no plans live stream, so whatever goes is whatever the plan is going to be. I'm not gonna say this is going to be an interesting live stream. It's more so of just checking in and saying hello. Not your average live stream, isn't it? And let us update the sub goal, guys. We are at, yes, 2,140 subs out of 10K. And man, oh man, do we grow quick and slow at the same time. It's a steady pace, but I'm not really too in a hurry, honestly, on this live stream. It's a, sort of a relaxing day. I do have to actually edit and record a video and finish up with the Friday video for my other YouTube channel. Man, that is going to be a pain in the butt, because those are usually the longer ones to record because tarantulas do not cooperate when you're recording. So yeah, hello everyone. It's nice to see everyone again. And today is essentially my only day off this entire week. So I've been slacking a little bit in terms of trying to get a break. And I haven't not eaten yet today too, so I'm kind of hungry. And I am hoping that probably eat some strawberries, I guess, because I am trying to cut down a little bit of weight. But either way though, it's really nice to see everyone going on again. And man, I get paid next week too, and my next paycheck, once it comes in, that is, it should equal to about halfway to my surgery cost. So it is going to be quite nice, honestly, and I'm hoping for the best, because man oh man, I get as we're slowly approaching the amount of money I need for my surgery, the more, I don't know, anxious I'm getting. And I guess that's really the best way to put it. But I hope everybody's day or everybody's week has been going well. Mine has not, obviously, because I got fired from my dance instructing job, and I'm trying to actually get it back. I think I got it back, but there's really no guarantee. We honestly just have to wait and see at this point. Huh. Your channel got recommended out of nowhere, and now I'm starting to do push-ups also. Oh, 7-Up, that's great to hear. That's kind of the strange thing about YouTube. I don't know how YouTube does things. They just randomly put out my videos, which is honestly kind of confusing at times. And that's really how a lot of people, find my channel, is through my push-up videos. But I honestly really couldn't care less if it has 1 view, 0 views, 100 views, or 10 views. As long as I need the motivation mentally, and as long as I enjoy making content such as voice acting stuff, I'll still continue posting videos. And I have been for the past 2 years straight. It's kind of surprising though. Everybody's asking, like, I don't know, I guess consistency is one of the reasons why YouTube keeps pushing out my videos out of nowhere. I don't know what to say about that. It happens from time to time, actually. It happens, like, I say once every month to once every 2 months, YouTube just puts out my video for no reason, and then everybody just hops in. I'm truly thankful that people, find my channels and whatnot, but like I stated, as long as I enjoy what I put out, I'll still put out content. And on average, I put out about 14 videos every week, so I'm still pushing that record, I guess. So yeah, it's honestly not a big hurdle, is what I'm saying. If it happens, it happens. And whether I gain subscribers, lose subscribers, gain views or no views, 7-Up, I'm just happy to be putting out something I'm proud of. I am not trying to be a big YouTuber. This funny thing, when I started this channel was more so of a throwaway channel of just me posting whatever I want to post. You can even go all the way back to the first video. It was just me enjoying whatever I just wanted to do, and then now I'm just here. It's kind of surprising though. I originally started out just doing 200 days. If you go to my old videos on the channel, I put day something out of 200, and day 200 was going to be my last day of uploading on this channel, but I honestly had so much fun, I still upload even now. So even after 200 days plus, I'm still uploading. Which honestly, it's not that hard to do. Which is that's the surprising part, honestly. I know people say that putting out content is very hard, but if you're enjoying it, then I think you'll find some sort of consistency. It may not be every single day now, like how some people do it, but it could be once every month, once every week, once every 2 months. As long as you're enjoying the process, it's not that hard when it comes to YouTube. Tarantula videos. So the boxes behind your tarantulas. Every single one of those are tarantulas. Yeah, I made a lot of videos talking about this already. A lot of my boxes behind me, those containers, are tarantulas and spiders. The Kumo Sensei, I work specifically with spiders. That's one of my careers that I'm pursuing. It's not a as of now, it's more still of a passion, but I'm still trying to see where it goes as a potential career. I've been doing spiders for a very long time now. Boy, I feel old. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm a second generation tarantula master, I guess. Now my teacher, the first Kumo Sensei, I say that jokingly, by the way, when I say Kumo Sensei, but my first instructor actually retired, so he's kind of enjoying his vacation far away, moved away from here. So essentially, I'm what you will consider to be a second generation tarantula keeper. But all those behind me are tarantulas, and yes, I do specialize in breeding and taking care of spiders, by the way. So I am the real deal Kumo Sensei, by the way. Even though the name started out as a joke, I am a spider master, or a tarantula breeder, that is, for those who are wondering. So hence the name Kumo Sensei. My name is not a gimmick. I mean, it's a joke, but at the same time, it's not a gimmick. I'm the real deal spider master. You don't... That's kind of funny. A YouTuber that has a name that actually matches the person. That's kind of rare, isn't it? But yeah, those are all tarantulas behind me. I do gotta do some tarantula work after this, so you're gonna see that on my tarantula YouTube channel, Laxo. That's my other channel. There's a link to it down below if you want to go check it out. I upload on there about twice a week, and it does have very high quality tarantula videos. That's where I try to actually focus my video editing and whatnot thereon. This channel is more so of me just goofing around, having fun, and trying to push myself mentally to a better place, a headspace that is, and hopefully a better place in life as well. I don't really use this channel for anything else other than that, and whatever I like. I'm just a normal guy. It's just so crazy to see how people think I'm some special person. I'm just a normal person. I'm a normal person like everybody else. Like, come on now, guys. Don't look at me as somebody special. I'm financially struggling. I'm just trying to get... How old are you right now? About my mid-20s. Yes, I'm approaching mid-20s, guys. I'm getting older. But it's kind of funny because when it comes to age, my parents are kind of concerned because I look like I'm in my 30s and I look like I'm in my early teens at the same time. But I've already graduated college, by the way, so I don't know why people think the way they do. Oh, try not to get too much pressure into my hair now with my earbuds on, my headphones on, but yeah, I'm not... I can die, but I have no life. What am I? Huh, hello there, Marco. Well, I'll tell you this. I can die, but I have no life. I don't know, a tardigrade? I don't know. I'm terrible at riddles. When it comes to trivia and stuff, I'm pretty good at it, but when it comes to riddles itself, I'm pretty bad. That's the thing. But yeah, though, I'm 25, working office job for 3 years, and boy, it's boring. I can relate to that, actually. It's just normal life for us, I guess, for those who are trying to find a place in, or like trying to find a place in this world. Like for me currently, I'm just trying to get something going, because you'll only live once. That's the biggest thing you need to... Well, the biggest thing I took away from life is that with one life, you just kind of have to enjoy it for what it is, and don't waste it. I'm trying not to waste it. That's why I'm doing so much at once. But Marco, I have to be honest. I am the worst at riddles. I'm gonna say that right now. When it comes to riddles, guys, I'm pretty bad at it. I can take hints and I can catch on to things pretty quickly, but when it comes to riddles, I literally overthink. So, ugh. I send a message on Discord to you. I only log on to Discord once or twice a day, like if I can, and when I'm working, usually the day after. So. Can't just put this in a group. Oh man. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna watch that on stream now because you don't want to start something. But I'll check it out later, Marco. But when it comes to those type of videos, though, Mark, I'm gonna be honest. Those are not really my type of humor. But to each their own. I'm just saying that right now. I have a very, very low esteem type humor, I guess. I don't know. Deadpan humor is the best way to put it. I'm actually like, I don't know. It's kind of strange to say that, actually. When it comes to humor, I'm not actually the person that laughs at everything, or YouTube poops, or shit posts and stuff like that. I have a very, very small tolerance to humor. That's why I don't know why I'm like that. It's just the way it is, honestly. And man, oh man, I have to. I hate training, but I gotta start training pretty soon. I did exercise this morning, by the way, guys. Mostly just cardio and a little bit of weights, but not too much. Asian parents tend to raise their kids in a safe space with safe options. So yeah, obviously it's a safe option. I'm Vietnamese, so yeah. I am not Vietnamese, by the way, but I understand the Asian stereotype. My parents are kind of like that, but not anymore. It's just funny because of that. Look, there's two conversations going on here, so we've got to target both of these at a time. Humor. I am not too humorous of a guy. And Asian parents, that's pretty much your typical Asian parents. That's all I gotta say, man. I don't want to go too in depth because people are gonna start questioning my ethnicity again, my nationality as well. I'm American, by the way, for those who are wondering. But man, these headphones are getting kind of buddy with me. Hold on, let me take these off for a second. I did not style my hair, by the way. I don't know why. People think I keep styling my hair. I do not style my hair, by the way. This is just natural shower hair. Once it actually calms down a bit, for those who are wondering. And I do, man, I'm actually very hungry right now, but well, I'm not very hungry. I'm just slightly hungry. So my diet is actually pretty terrible, for those who are wondering, because when you're on a stage acting diet or a dance instructing diet, well, actually the dance instructing diet is more accurate. When you're on stage acting, they try to make you starve. I try not to starve. So what I do is, instead of starving, I just put myself into a very low calorie deficit. So as of now, my calorie intake today is supposed to be around 500 to 700 calories, which is essentially like 2 cups of strawberries, I think. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. And boy, it does not feel good. Strawberries for a meal. This is stage acting here, guys, because for about 2 to 3 days straight, I literally had junk food. Hold up. I literally had ice cream with this birthday cake toppings on ice cream. And hold up. And I have a bunch of junk food in this bag. So for those who are wondering, I I actually don't eat as healthy as what most people think. But the thing about me is that I am actually very good at calorie restriction and calorie control, because I have a food scale, and I do not have a dietitian, by the way, for those who are wondering. So a lot of stage actors have agents and agents, dietitians, and some things like that. I don't, because I don't have anything but myself. Anybody but myself. That's more accurate. So literally, when it comes to auditioning, planning, dieting, the whole game plan is essentially set up by me by myself. So essentially, I had to took it one day at a time to figure out how to diet and train. And yes, I do diet, I do train, I do work out. It's kind of confusing because people think that the 25 daily push-ups is my only workout. Is not. And I've actually been trying to slow down on my chest workouts, such as bench press and incline bench press, decline bench presses and those, because a little bit goes a long way. So I'm trying not to overdo my chest muscles, by the way. Especially the triceps as well, because push-ups mostly works out your chest and your triceps and your front delts. So any of those workouts, I've been lowering those sets as well, so I don't overdo it, because you don't want muscle imbalances, nor do you want to have injuries. So I've been cutting that. And yes, strawberries for a meal. I know that's not very healthy, but calorie restriction is a must, because I had 2 to 3 days of just eating junk food and whatever I want. But I'm very, very good at losing weight, that is, and maintaining weight, but I don't really want to go too in depth because it's too complicated. I am not a workout guru, by the way, or a workout expert. I'm just the person who figured out how to actually train diet to their own accords, to me personally. This is why I don't really want to tell people my workout sets, my diet, and how much I eat in a day, because it wouldn't really be healthy for the average person, especially if you're either overweight or underweight. Because I just, like, for me, I had to figure it out all on my own. So, like, I'll tell you what I do for my workouts, but I will not tell you the sets, how long I train, because sometimes I'm training for 3 hours. Like, you have about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour of weights, and then the other 2/3 of it is legit just cardio or bodyweight exercises. So bodyweight exercises that I always do without a doubt is sit-ups, crunches, leg raises, or bent knee leg raises if you want to take it easy, and push-ups. But I do it in variations. I don't do just basic push-ups and whatnot. Bodyweight exercises are actually very good, like very good for you, honestly, because it don't really require any actual weight training or anything like that. It's just your own body weight. Calisthenics is good too. If you have a pull-up bar, then yeah, calisthenics is great. I do pull-ups as well, guys, for those who are wondering. Pull-ups is actually what I do for my back training for back days. It does help out your back, your rhomboids, and your lats as well. Just a bit of a bro tip, I guess. But it depends on how you grip your pull-ups. I am not really the person that grips my pull-ups like this. I like it like this better. Just for a heads up, just so I can work out my back more instead of my biceps and my chest. But hey, to each their own. And also, if you do pull-ups, do hanging leg raises, because that is the best way to actually train your abs. It will kill your core. And if you do like a twist variation, it'll be the greatest for your obliques, aka your sides here, guys, because that is how you build out your abs. So a lot of people do ask me how I get my abs, and that's honestly the key, is to train your core. Actually, you can do sit-ups and whatnot, but you have a very weak core, it's not going to look as aesthetic. And then once you get the obliques trained in, if you're training your obliques is actually very easy and hard at the same time, because you have a lot of muscles that takes over your obliques. So when you're trying to train it, sometimes your abs are taking over or something else. So for me, I just had to figure that out on my own. But once I figured it out, though, how to where it works for me, that's the way I've been training my obliques. So like, you see my not my abs, but my stage acting shoots, like my stage acting photos that I post on Twitter and sometimes here on YouTube on the community sections, you will notice that my abs are either very dug out or my obliques are very aesthetic. And it's really not because people think it's because like I have very low body fat, and that is true, but low body fat does contribute to that. But it's also because I've been training it to where I know what I'm doing. For beginners though, Russian twist is probably the go-to for your obliques. I still do Russian twist to this day, but I figured out that looking at canoers, people who compete in like canoeing and stuff, and rowing boats with paddles, I figured out that their motions actually train their obliques. So I do this weird variation of Russian twist to where it's like to where it's like I'm paddling, but not really with one paddle. I don't know. It really kills my obliques and it works great. I worked in the gaming industry. My company fridges were full of sugar energy drink because sugar tend to boost your productivity. I was from 55 kg to 70 kg, 100%. Now I'm back to 63 kg. No, that's not too bad. You see, I try to avoid sugar too much because sugar is actually good and bad at the same time. I think what a lot of people get confused is that people say carbs are bad, so they go on keto diets, essentially a no-carb diet. And the thing is that too much of anything is bad for you. So you have too much carbs, it isn't really good for you. But you have too much protein, it's not too good for you as well. Or too much sugar, or too much, vitamin A, B, C, etc. You need a good balance of everything if you want a good, proper diet. This is why, like, I try to tell people, if you're already big, or if you're trying to slim down a bit, and you're consuming too much protein, there's literally no point of over consuming protein. It's like you're overdoing it at the same time. You don't need to. But I understand though, 7-Up. It's kind of funny, 7-Up, because I was actually when I was in college, my major was gaming and simulation. But I dropped out of that major because the gaming industry at this point is too competitive. And everybody is getting laid off. The gaming industry is also getting replaced by a lot of AI, and I hate that, honestly. So it's kind of sad to see some former colleagues, I guess you could say, or former, I don't know, college students, colleagues, I don't know, or classmates, that is. That's the right word, classmates. Former classmates in the gaming industry just struggling, or they're fired, or they're in a new major, or something that isn't gaming related anymore. But yeah, though. It's good to see that people is losing weight, though. It's kind of strange because I don't really, I try to be transparent, but I don't want to tell everybody, like, I do this and that, because you're going to do it and not have any results at all. Or you might gain weight or lose too much weight. You really got to figure out by yourself, guys. That is the honest, like, dead-on truth that I really hate. People just don't want to tell you the truth, but everybody's different. Literally different when it comes to their body workouts. You're gonna have to struggle. It took a couple of months, but man, does it take a long time. After COVID subsided, take any issue for them, they lost 20% of player base and overall. Imagine a gaming group of 4 and one day you lost a guy. See, that I did not see COVID coming in, ruining the gaming industry, but I will say this though. I already saw the gaming industry going downhill since 2018, 2019 when I was in college. And here's the thing, and here was the early signs though. If gaming fans are not too happy of what they see in a product, then it is usually the first signs of things going downhill. Another sign of things going downhill in the gaming industry that I saw was not gaming directors, but gaming companies making bad decisions. And the moment I think it was 2019, I believe it was a Blizzard press conference, and I believe that's when they announced Diablo Immortal, and that's where everybody made those memes of like, don't you guys not have phones, and the red shirt guy saying, is this an out of season April Fool's joke and whatnot. That was when I saw the red flags, like, yep, I need to get out of this industry. Because the gaming industry was going downhill right then and there. Like, it was as plain as day. And I believe, Pokemon Sword and Shield was announced during that time. And people were kind of skeptical because they removed the Pokedex and everything. The gaming industry at that time, when I came in, or majoring into during college, was not looking great. And honestly, you just kind of had to take that what it is and just back out. Hello there, John. I hope everything's going well. COVID kind of boosted the gaming industry because people more than time spent at home on the phone. Instant noodle games growing like fungus. Yeah, but that's the thing though. COVID was a thing for its time. Because now that pretty much the pandemic is over, people are starting to go back out now. So I don't see people like staying at home playing games. Don't get me wrong, COVID changed the industry forever, but I really do think that the industry will start going back downhill because Because look, during the pandemic, everybody was literally being like, everybody was playing games and streaming on Twitch and whatnot. And during that time, it caused a huge up spike, but at the same time, it caused saturation. While it was good in some areas, everything will have its time. And now that time is over. So I really don't see the gaming industry doing anything better. And didn't what was that one gaming company? Somebody reminded me on this. There was a gaming company that actually like reduced their workers and workload, and now they have like, they're either laid off or have no jobs at all. That's why the industry is self-fixing itself back to the original place, I would say. I actually agree. It's kind of funny because people always talk about anime and workout, but nobody talks about the gaming industry. I used to be a huge gamer, like a huge gaming fan. I will always talk about creating games and whatnot, but I backed out of that major. But yeah, today is Groundhog Day, and Phil didn't see his shadow, so we're going to get, meaning we'll get an early spring. Let's go. I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to Groundhog Day because I live on the East Coast or the East side of the United States, and Groundhog Day is a holiday that everybody knows about. Like, everybody knows Groundhog Day, but man, it is crazy, yo. I always make jokes about that, but either way, though, guys, the gaming industry, I really do think that it's going to go downhill. Look, the gaming industry, there's only two ways to make it. You either got to get lucky, like a big company gets lucky and creates something big like Baldur's Gate 3, or you either had to go indie. And becoming an indie studio is so difficult nowadays. Like, it literally is. So I really pray that the future game developers have better resources than what we had. But who knows, right? Because anything can happen nowadays in this gaming industry. It's kind of funny how nobody talks about games on this channel, but I know a lot about games. Yeah, that's kind of funny to say. Because I was a gaming a simulation major. I didn't actually major into it because I dropped out of it, but my friend actually did go into the gaming industry, believe it or not. So that's kind of interesting to say. I don't know what's he doing now, but it's crazy. Indie is like hitting a jackpot with players' expectations. You know, there is a lot of great indie studios out there, such as what was the one that created Hollow Knight? Was it Studio Cherry, I believe? There's a lot of great indie studios out there, but even the big indie studios are big indie studios. Like, if you're just trying to start off as an indie studio creating your own independent games, that is already difficult in itself because, like, it's just so crazy. Just put it this way, guys. For those people who are not in the gaming industry, I'm going to say this right now. The gaming industry at this moment is literal hell. That is the only way to describe it. I don't know why people are saying this is the best time to be an indie developer and whatnot. It is not. It is extremely competitive. You see how many new Steam releases there are every single day? There's like hundreds of games coming out. And the majority of them are either from indie developers or just people who are just trying to make a quick buck. It is way too saturated. Like of those 100 games, I'd say 0 of them are good. Like, it is extremely difficult, honestly, being a game developer. Boy, if somebody asked me to create a game, I would create the most boring game of all time. I lost all of my skills when it comes to creating games. But during those college years, though, I did speedrun Flash games because that was essentially... here's a funny fact. Here's a bit of a backstory about me. So back then, when you was learning a bit of like, gaming motion and whatnot, sometimes people will recommend you go play very simple games to understand their movements and the mechanics of how it works. So we will actually play Flash games, and I used to speedrun Flash games, believe it or not. Bloons Tower Defense was one of them. What else was another one? Bloxors was another one. Basically, your typical Flash games on the internet that you can play, I pretty much speedran them. Just to understand the basic mechanics. So yeah, I used to be a speedrunner for Flash games, for those who are curious. As a matter of fact, one of my old videos, one of my first videos actually, was me speedrunning the last level of Bloxors. I used to love Bloxors because It was like the greatest way to study gaming. It studied the three-dimensional function of how a rectangular cube moves. But at the same time, it was witty enough to where it requires a bit of brain power to think. But that was the game I used to study, the Flash game I studied, that is, when I was in gaming and simulation. But I dropped out because, like I stated, the gaming industry was going downhill. It still is going downhill. It's kind of funny. People think that games see, the thing is that you got to look at the gaming industry as a whole, not as one singular game. So let's look at Baldur's Gate 3, which was one of the highest selling games of 2023. That was a huge success, and Zelda Breath of the Wild was another huge success. But if you look at the entirety of the gaming world, there was like really bad games, you know, like games that nobody cared about, or games that played very poorly, or games that people are just tired of, such as Call of Duty, for example. Well, you understand I think everybody understands where I'm coming from, though. The gaming industry as a whole is at a very interesting place, because pretty much nobody is going to have a job at this point, because they're already incorporating AI into the work interfaces and whatnot, to the point where like hundreds, if not thousands of people by the day are losing jobs. And it's just kind of sad, because I think if I was to actually still be in the gaming major, I would not be here telling you this. I would probably either be a small indie developer, or I'll probably be in some really shady gaming industry company just struggling. But yeah, though, guys, that is the story of me in the gaming industry. I was a gaming and simulation student in college that dropped out of that industry. That literally I had to stop, because I already knew it was going to go downhill. Because man, if you was around 2019 and you saw that Diablo Immortal, that was the signal. That was telling me, nope, I'm out. Bye. That was it. I could tell you all about the gaming industry, man. Tomorrow is Ryan Barley's birthday, and she's the voice of Rengoku, Hanako, Kamado, and Momo, Demon Slayer, Shoko, Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, interesting. You know, I actually have an interesting story about that, actually, when it comes to voice actors. I need to tell you a story, because this story is actually very interesting. But I'll wait for more people to come in. If you want to hear this voice acting story, please feel free to like. If we get 2 likes, I'm actually going to depth about this story, because I have some very interesting stories about voice acting, believe it or not. So yeah, big companies still require a manual QA QC, unless they're just let the player base catch bugs for them instead of having a department for that. Yeah, but that's a big company though. What if you're indie? You're going to be struggling even more. It's kind of sad, because see, I'm going to be honest. Here's the thing, 7up. Oh, we got 2 likes. All right, I'm going to tell the story about the voice acting a little bit, but first let me discuss about this big company issue. Big companies are very disconnected with their fan base. Period. And I think, and you also need to understand from this other perspective as well. I feel like gamers are all too entitled, because if you look at small games, every single gamers compare every game to whatever their big game is. And this kind of hurts the gaming industry, because what if you're a very small independent developer with a very small budget and you release this one game? A lot of gamers are going to compare that one small game to that one big game, with like that one big CEO company game, you know? And that really does hurt the gaming industry. And this is something that I really do stand by, even now. I think a lot of gamers are way too obligated. Yeah, I said it. I know that people say listen to the gamers, but at the same time, I think gamers are way too obligated. Like, way too obligated. So I'm just going to end it like that for now. I will go into depth about that towards the end of this live stream, but if you stay around, I will go into depth about that. But here's the thing though about voice. Okay, now onto the voice acting stuff. So during this time, actually, I was already into stage acting, actually, and I was already training for a few years now. Yeah, a few years into stage acting. So Funny thing, I was actually my first voice acting lesson, my first voice acting session I had was actually from a radio host. Because what happened was, we was in a stage play, and for those who don't know, when you're stage acting, you're not just I'm this bad guy, I'm gonna knock you out. No, you're not just acting. You're actually taught how to use your vocal cords because you're talking to an audience. So they actually hired a radio host to teach you to talk. Well, they didn't hire, but they had a freelancer radio host come in and taught us how to do voice acting, essentially, or vocal range. Because I don't know why they hired that person, but that's essentially how I got started into voice acting. Funny enough, that is why you hear this voice acting radio voice. Yahoo! Da-da-da-da-da. And coming now at 9:30 p.m. It is currently nighttime a.m. Yep, we are rating. Welcome to the late night show. Yeah, but that's how I got started into voice acting. Now, John, I'm not gonna. You mentioned. Here's the thing. Here's a true story of a voice acting lesson I had. So a very long time ago now, I've actually paid a few $1,000s, a couple $1,000s, my bad, for a voice acting lesson. And this individual was actually supposed to be a reputable voice actor. I'll not tell you who this voice actor is, but this voice actor was voicing in television shows. Yes, this is a quote-unquote big voice actor. I paid a couple $1,000s for this lesson. And oh boy, it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. I still respect this voice actor to this day. Yes, I will not tell you if you ever mentioned this voice actor before, John, because it kind of hurt. And allow me to explain why. So, I actually paid a couple $1,000s for this voice acting class. I'll not tell you how many sessions it was, how many days it was, but essentially, what they taught was things that I was already either familiar with or already taught in stage acting class. And the reason why it hurt was because, like, for some reason, I don't know why, I would never make fun of anybody's voice roles or their voice work, period. Because if you're voicing something, you already pretty much made history. I would not make fun of your history at all. But why make fun of mine? You know? Because, like, yeah, it's obvious I'm not a voice actor. I'm not voicing anything big, you know? But I'm still a stage actor nonetheless. Why make fun of me and a bunch of other people for acting in small roles, you know? It just hurts. So, yeah, I was not really happy, honestly. I still do hold a bit of a grudge on this voice actor, but it's kind of strange though. I never once actually dissed, hated, or said anything bad about this voice actor that I was taught by. But I don't know why you will go out of your way to bully us. Like, it's just so wrong. And yeah, this voice actor, I'll not mention their name at all. But I will say that it's just so weird. You make fun of... It's like kicking the lower guy. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know? So I still wonder why that is. And look, like I stated, I would never make fun of anybody's hard work, period. Like, what that person did, their voice roles, their voice cast, is history. They're pretty much cemented in the voice acting world. But it doesn't really make sense why you're bullying everybody else. Like, don't get me wrong, your voice... If this voice actor watches this live stream in the future, here's what I gotta say. You're a big piece of shit for bullying the smaller people. I don't know why you're gonna be two-facing us for that. Like, come on now. It just doesn't make sense. I would never make fun of your history. I would never make fun of your ethnicity. But why make fun of mine? Like, because I'm of Asian descent? Like, nani? Well, come on now, what the heck? It just hurts. I feel like people think that like a bunch of your voice actors are like the most friendliest people, but not all of them are. Some of them are a-holes. They just do it behind your back, so just be cautious. But yeah, though, I really hope that one day we can see eye to eye, not as like rivals or anything like that, but like as respective voice actors. I still do hold this individual in high regard, and as a matter of fact, I still do respect them. But like, I'll be honest, I don't think it was worth paying a couple $1,000s for this voice acting lesson. It just wasn't. Here's my honest opinion. If you're wanting to get into voice acting, and you already come from an acting background, such as stage acting, acting in commercials, or being a double or something, you don't really need voice acting lessons. Now granted, voice acting lessons can teach you a bit of things of your vocals and whatnot, but it is absolutely not necessary. Not if you already come from an acting background. Because look at Chris Sabat, the voice actor of Piccolo, for example. He started off as a radio host before he became a voice actor. Basically, what I'm saying is that nobody needs to actually go through the proper steps of, signing up for voice acting lessons and whatnot and yada yada yada. You can start pretty much anywhere. Like, I do not agree with the fact that you just solely have to do voice acting lessons from a professional voice actor. You don't need to sign up for a session and whatnot. You just need to have some sort of acting background. Now, granted, like I stated already, hiring a voice acting lesson can help, but it's not necessary. But yeah, though, that is my honest, that's a true story, by the way, of one of my voice acting lessons I've taken in the past. Yeah, so, for those who are wondering, yes, this was pretty much a well-known voice actor. I will not say they voiced everything. They're not that big now, but they were still pretty much big because they voiced in something. But how long was the lesson? I'm not going to tell you that, because then you're going to be searching up a bunch of voice actors and say, like, oh yeah, this is the one. Yep, that's the a-hole. How long was the lesson? It was not the longest, but it was long enough. Your typical lessons, honestly. But I was just not happy, man. It hurt. Heck yeah, I was depressed. I was actually depressed. Imagine, just put it this way. Imagine there was an idol or a person you look up to, and they behind the scenes, they're just literally they're kicking you down, and they're just kicking you down, and they're just talking about how you're not good enough. Like, are you serious? That's the exact reason why I literally paid for your classes. Honestly, I'm not a bad student. I learned pretty quickly, for those who are wondering. I did not have poor work ethic. So it's not me, it's you. You're a terrible teacher. No offense. Like you bet I was depressed. Like, I don't know how, like, you wouldn't. Just imagine somebody you look up to just talking shit about you because of your ethnicity, your background, and like your overall credentials. Because at the time, I was literally just a throwaway background character in stage acting. That's all I was, like, in my college years. So literally after college, I'll literally just come back home, go running, go exercise, get my workout in, and then like a 20-minute session of stage acting practice and whatnot, and just get back home. Like, because, man, no disrespect to you, John, but like, if you're ever somehow or someday post a happy birthday to that voice actor, I'm still gonna wish him happy birthday, obviously, because I still respect them. But like, I just really wish that voice actors were actually genuine, because some of them are not. They're pretty bad in some ways. But that's the true story, though. It hurts. Yeah, I still feel it, but I still do voice acting because I love it. I'm not saying I'm going to be the next big voice actor out there. I'm just saying that I wish I had my chance, just to prove myself. Because at this point, I have, like, I don't know, a bunch of stage acting credentials, but they're just throwaway characters. Well, that's acting for you. Oh man, they're terrible actors. Oh man, I can go into stage acting too. Stage acting for me is more of an outlet, but at the same time, it kind of hurts doing stage acting sometimes because I'm always the bad guy. It's frustrating about that sometimes. People don't understand that actually. Hold up. Let me 7 Up. And everybody who's watching, I'm gonna tell you a bit about stage acting, my background in stage acting. So stage acting was actually a joke when I first started. Because what essentially happened was basically I forgot what the play was. Some random kid's play was over. And they needed somebody to actually fill in this time gap for the kids. So they was like, hey, just put on some music and somebody just jam out. Like, that's literally what they say. Somebody just be kicking some moves until it's time for them to go. So with the remaining time they had, I essentially just filled it in. I just jumped in and just started hitting some goddamn moves. Like, I was hitting it. I was hitting it hard. and that's when they was like, yeah, you're pretty good. Will you consider stage acting? I mean, you can basically learn basic choreo. I was like, okay, say no more, I'm in. And that's essentially how I got into stage acting. It was more so of a joke, honestly, the way I saw it, but that's essentially how it started. But just to clarify, I was already in shape when I joined in. Yes, I was already training 3 years prior. So, and at the time, I was, I don't remember how many kilograms I was. I was big, but not fat. I was kind of bulkier, definitely bulkier. Probably about 4 kilos heavier than what I am now. 4 to 5 kilos heavier of muscle. Because back then, I was still progressive. I was still training progressive overload and not necessarily training for dancing. Because at this point, I was still competing. I was still competing competitively, but I was slowly transitioning out from competitive dancing to dance instructing at the same time. So a lot of stuff, like a lot of what I'm doing now that I'm good at, started around the college years or high school years, that is. So my senior high school years, that's what I'm trying to say. But that's essentially how I got into stage acting. And believe it or not, my first role was a tree. Even now, I still play a tree. You know how in kids plays, there's like that one kid in the background who's holding the tree branches like this. That was literally me for like the first few stage plays. Yeah, see ya 7 Up. You gotta go. But that was my first roles though. My first few roles was literally being a background thing. I was not a character. My first actual character I played was essentially it was an original play of like a bad guy. It was a kids play essentially. That's where I still do kids plays, by the way. I still do a bunch of kid stage plays and whatnot. So essentially, my first role was I was a bully essentially, with a really crappy looking sword. Yeah, it wasn't even a sword. It was a stick. That's what it was. It was like this really ugly stick. It was a wooden stick. It was kind of like, hold up. Sorry, give me a second. It was kind of like this one, but it was longer and it was more wiggly. And essentially, I was the bad guy. I was just taking swings at one another. That was my role. Yes. That was the first role I played. I was essentially a delinquent, just beating up people. And that's how it kind of started. But ever since then, I just got stuck into this role of either playing the bad guy or a throwaway bad guy. Or a background tree, like always. But that's how my stage acting started. And voice acting was actually... Voice acting was interesting. I was actually on and off, for those who are wondering. I was not actively voice acting, but I was just playing around with the concept.
Because, yeah, I like to do voice acting. I like to mock myself. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I like voice acting.
So, voice acting was kind of coincidental, honestly, but there's more to it. But yeah, that's when I really got into the acting stuff. I like being the bad guy. And then I went through a stalker, and I'm still traumatized from a stalker. I still have bad dreams about a stalker. What else? I got cheated on. Yep. By a fellow stage actor. That was kind of nice. No, that was not nice. And then she got into an abusive relationship with her at the time, now ex, but her at the time boyfriend. Man, it was just crazy. That was some of the craziest years. Boy, I don't want to go too in depth about that, but actors be acting, and a lot of actors are not mentally sane. That's all I can say. They're not mentally well, because, whoo-wee, man, it's crazy. People don't understand. You had a stalker? Yes, I had a stalker. I told the story already. I had an online stalker because of stage acting. So, wait, John, you was here. I told you about the online stalker. My God. Okay, let me retell you the story. So I told it in detail, but not too in detail. But let us. What? Wait, why did my likes drop by 1? What happened here? But allow me to recalibrate this story, guys. So yeah. So a very long time ago, when I still had friends online, there was a guy that was into men. It's kind of funny. We used to joke around a lot, and he was he was a good friend of mine. Like, we always joke, like, we will always, do tongue-in-cheek type of jokes. It was like, man, you would never date me. We were just joking around. I'm straight, by the way. I'm into women, so I like to just, screw with them just to have fun, because we're cool like that. And man, it was crazy. So what essentially happened was that I shared a photo. It was a stage acting photo shoot. There was a few pictures on it. And this is not how, I'll tell you, what you see here of me and what you see on stage were completely different. You saw me on stage, I look like your typical anime character. The anime hair, partially dyed, looking real good with a killer six-pack. Developed, like, I was looking good, believe it or not. I will not tell you what I was wearing. I will not tell you the positions. I will not tell you anything about that. But what happened was I shared those photos, and my God, my guy was head over heels for me. He was very obsessed with me. But he's not the stalker here. But he ties into the story because it's kind of convoluted. So what ended up happening was that I used to terminally, okay, this is not a good thing to say, but I used to terminally live on the internet, essentially. Like, I was on the internet every single day. I was on every forum page. I was everywhere. I was on Reddit. I was on I was on Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. And I used to have a bunch of throwaway accounts, just to name a few and whatnot. But eventually what happened was one day I was getting online bullied, but I didn't really care, because it was on a throwaway account, and they were essentially. And these people were essentially just saying this. They were just saying your typical Redditor stuff, like, this guy's probably an incel. This guy would never get a girlfriend. This guy he's probably not into you, or like that type of stuff. And my friend, he took it very personal. Because at this point, this guy was head over heels for me. So, like the idiot he is, Don't get me wrong, I forgive him, but like the idiot he is, he's like, man, what are you talking about? This guy looks way better than you. That's why you have a face only your mother will love. And he was just going back and forth, just trying to defend me and whatnot. But honestly, I didn't really care because it was a throwaway account. So what he ended up doing was he posted those pictures onto the internet. Oh yay! this is where things kind of here's a bit of a hint. This was an anime forums page. I will not tell you if it was on Reddit. I will not tell you if it was on Facebook. I will not tell you where it was. But it was on an anime Reddit page. No, not anime Reddit page. I'm tripping. It was on an anime forum page. And what ended up happening was, like people were saying, "Oh, wow, this guy's good at cosplaying." That was not cosplay. Well, wearing a stage acting costume or a stage acting clothing, I wouldn't really consider it cosplay, but I guess they consider it cosplay at the time, whatever. So what ended up happening was those pictures got out, and this chick, I will not say, this chick accidentally, this woman actually found those pictures, and she just, at first, it's kind of strange to say this. When you have a stalker, you think that they're just some creepy person that just ends up at your door, but that's hello there, Live Kaguya, I think is how I pronounce it. But essentially, here's what happened on how the stalker situation happened online and how it stumbled downhill. So my friend, out of defense, just trying to defend for me, because they were just calling me ugly and whatnot. So my friend literally posted those pictures on the internet just to be like, yeah, man, see, my guy here is actually good looking. He's not ugly at all. And yeah, they gave up because obviously I'm pretty good looking, but not anymore. But I'll get into that towards the end. So some woman, another fellow cosplayer, put it that way. She doesn't accidentally. She finds my photos, and at first it was. See, the thing is that the anime at the time on the net was big already, but it's not as big as it is now. So she reaches out. She's friendly at first. And at first, it was just like your small talk of like your favorite anime, just like how I'm talking to you guys essentially. But at some point, I don't know what happened. Some people just want to escalate things, man. Pine speeches later. See ya, Pines. You gotta go. And she essentially, you think I'm making this shit up, but like she just starts becoming anxious for some reason. I don't know why. And then it starts to become parasocial. Very parasocial. And then out of nowhere, she just confesses. I was not interested in this individual. This individual was not bad looking, by the way. And I stated this before, and I'll state this again. I'll give her... I even told you about who she was cosplaying as. She was cosplaying as Yuki Noshita from Origaru, or Snafu, for those who are wondering. So... Man, and it stumbled downhill real quick. Like she was digging everything from photo searches to locations. And I think at this time, during this time period, I think this was before you can actually. So for those who don't know, back then you can actually photo search location. That's how they caught the burger foot lettuce guy. And essentially, she was trying to do the same thing by using those photos to figure out exactly the pinpoint location of where they were taken and using that as context to find me. I was like, hell no. I make it sound like it was a small situation, but it was really, really big. I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die. And it's kind of funny because my online homies, they were even mocking me. Believe it or not, one of them made a joke of school days. They're like, yo, man, if they find your head in a bag on a boat, you know what happened. I feel sorry for you, man. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like, Lord. We tried everything, yo. Like, literally everything. Reported it online, police, like everything. It was pretty bad. Essentially, what happened was, one of my friends got so fed up to the point where they're like, you know what? Why don't we play the Uno reverse card? So they went all out on this woman. And I feel so bad for her at that point because, like, don't get me wrong, she deserved it, but they went all out on her. And ever since then, I was gone. But that part drained me so much. Like, people think that this happened overnight. This is not a one-day situation. This was the course of a few months. And you have to understand where I'm coming from, guys. This doesn't happen in just 1 week. Like, this is the course of a few months. I was so drained and so scared at that point. I was like, from now on, if I'm going to be posting myself online, I got to be the ugliest as I can be. So now every single time you see me on video or on live stream, I do not style my hair anymore. I don't put on makeup. I do not put on skincare. I literally just go all raw, no rubber. Like I choose to be ugly now. I choose to be ugly. Yes, I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care what people say at this point. I'm just proud to be who I am. And it's not because like I'm insecure or anything like that. It's just because I'm just so tired of parasocial relationships and creepy people. I don't know you and you don't know me, but my God, there's a level or a boundary you just shouldn't cross, man. And even now, I still do have, like, I don't want to say PTSD, but slight worry, you know. But man, does that scare me. She is not ugly, by the way. I would even go as far as to say that. I think if you was like a guy who could never get a girlfriend and this woman appears at your doorstep, you'll probably say yes. Most people probably would say yes nowadays because they're lonely. But for me, like, I already have, like for me, like, no, I'll pass, man. I'm just so fed up with it. This is why, like you see me the way I am, like, not. I still do have my makeup kit and stuff. It's actually up here. My makeup kit. Oh, hold up. My hair gel is right here, actually. You can't really see it. My hairspray is over here, but you can't see it as well. My makeup kit is up here, but you can't see it as well. I do have my hair straightener here, but you can't see it as well. My hairspray bottle is back there. You see the blue one back over there behind that. Yeah, that's also a spray bottle. I'm actually a I don't want to see, this is going to sound strange. Now it sounds like I'm flexing. I am not necessarily the most ugliest person. This is the ugliest I can look naturally. Like, I can't look any uglier than this naturally. Like, literally naturally. I just don't know how. Even in my push-up videos, I have bed hair or shower hair. One of the two. But I do not style my hair or style myself into public anymore. It's just too scary, you know. But for stage acting, I will, though. that's the only exception. But yeah, on video, on live stream, this is the ugliest I can look naturally. And when I say ugly, I'm not trying to, like, this is the worst I can look by default. Not like putting clown makeup on my face or a bag over my head to make myself look hideous. Not that kind of way. But what I'm trying to say is, when I say look naturally, I mean as just default ugly as I can be. And it's crazy too, because people say I'm a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10. That's extremely high for like default not so pretty of a guy, if you get what I'm saying. So use your imagination and just look at me and then picture me as like an 8 or a 10. You will see like a huge, almost a huge difference. But I'm going to look much more handsomer once I get this removed. This by the way, guys, this mole right here is going to get removed, which is why I'm working more, because I'm saving money to remove the surgery, because melanoma, aka possible skin cancer. But it's not too bad though, guys. But once I get this removed, my face is going to look super more handsomer, I guess. I hope not though, but I mean, I'm not trying to wish for it to get infected, because that's not what I want, but I just want people to understand, being attractive, people think that being attractive is a huge plus, but my God, it isn't. It has its negatives as well. I'm living proof of that, guys. So if you're wondering what's it like being a handsome looking guy, it's not always good. Maybe it's because of my heritage, my ethnicities that are mixed. Haha, baby, just kidding. No, I'm just joking with you guys. But yeah, though, guys, that's essentially the story of a stalker. This video is probably gonna get a dislike because of that. I feel like people don't understand where I'm coming from, man. You think that like having somebody obsess over you is like a huge good thing, but it isn't. I do not encourage unhealthy relationships. I always wonder what's in those containers. Huh, funny thing, somebody asked already. All those containers behind me are spiders. I'm the Kumo Sensei. I work with spiders, for those who are wondering. Spiders is, yeah, I work with tarantulas and spiders. I'm a tarantula breeder, keeper, and, hobbyist, quote unquote. It is one of my future careers that I'm going for, live Kaguya, if you're wondering. And even though people ask that question 1,000 times, I'll answer it again. I am the real deal Kumo Sensei. I work with spiders, and I'm essentially, I'm essentially a spider master, if you want to get very exaggeratory about it. But yeah, I've always wondered what's in those containers. Yo, I knew that. Then why ask about what's in those containers? Oh man, the oxymoron there. But I went into a whole story time for you guys. That is crazy. I don't usually do story times about myself because here in one of them on some of the videos. Yeah, I figured. But I'm gonna be honest though, I don't really do too much story times about myself because I went through a lot of phases in life. So oh man, this is not good to say. This is kind of strange to say. I don't... Oh, stop focusing. Okay, there it goes. Now it focused again. So, for those who don't know me, you only know a small portion about me. Yeah. I don't want to say I'm self-conscious, but I don't know how much I should put myself out there. But not too much, though. I will say this, though. I'm not the most ugliest person. And honestly, the fact that I'm a 5 at default without styling my hair, skincare, etc., it kind of goes to show you that the man you see here in front of you, the Kumo Sensei, aka Akairo Miles, low here. Yeah, I'm actually more attractive than what most people think. But I'm still single though. I choose to be single still. Even though I got cheated on, dumped, and whatnot. Someday though, guys. Someday we'll get into a relationship again. It is February, so Valentine's Day. I thought you were harvesting some greens in there too. No, I'm not. I'm not growing anything. I'm just raising tarantulas and spiders. But I hope that someday though, guys, someday maybe we can build that trust up again to where I can actually start going all out on how I look. But yeah, though, I get... Maybe I'm waiting for the one. I don't know. I was born cursed, by the way. I mean, I was born fated, by the way. For those who are wondering. My given name is actually kind of an oxymoron. Oh, no, not an oxymoron. My given name is actually very interesting. But I can't tell you too much about my given name because then it's going to sound very strange. Every single woman is going to be like, "Yep, I'm your fated one. Be my wife," or something like that, or be my husband, or something like that. My given name is actually it's not cringe, but it's very anime. It is extremely anime. This is the reason why I prefer people just call me the Kumo Sensei or by my English name, not by my given name, because so my English name is essentially a pseudonym of my name. It's like a nickname essentially. So Miles is my English name. So if you call me by my real name, I prefer you call me by Miles, not by my given name. If you go by my given name, I'm gonna... Ew, I won't hate you, but I'm like, why? It is... So a bit about myself, actually, about my given name. My given name is actually kind of interesting, but it has a lot of lore. It is a lot of lore. It is an anime romance story, if I tell you why my given name is the way it is. And because of that, like, I kind of get picked on a little bit, or bullied quite a bit, because it has double meaning, triple meaning, actually. Because two of them are, one of them is pretty much direct, but the other two are subtle in my given name. So it really makes it kind of strange because if you understand the full context of my given name and why it's pronounced, not pronounced, but why it's like that, then you're going to be like, yeah, this guy is you're going to think I'm lying saying that I'm making this shit up, but I'm not. It's just the fact that my given name is the way it is. It's essential. I'm not telling you what it is, but it is essentially insinuating that there's a woman out there that is fated for me, essentially, to put it in simple terms. It is anime romance story. So as a kid, as a young kid, and even now, or for a very long time, I've always tried to run away from it. Believe it or not. So, and it's not because, like, I want people to understand. Imagine if you were bullied your whole life because of your given name, and because people don't understand the context behind it, and because of that, like, you were pretty much like your life is already set in stone and is already fated to be with somebody else. So for me, I was kind of even now, I've always been just running away from it because I don't want my fate to be determined by something I was born with. But it's not a bad fate. It's just a very cursed one. Because I don't know why it is, man. I've actually written not a fanfic, but a story about not my life, but like a very long time ago, I've written a story with like an anime story based on my fate and my name and why it is. So if you watch Kimi no Nawa, Your Name, it's kind of similar to that in a way, where two people are somewhat bound by circumstances, I guess. And that's essentially my given name. But my name is not Kimi no Nawa is not my given name, by the way. My given name, if you watch my dance instructing videos, you pretty much, I will have to show my given name there. So go watch my introductory dance instructing video for 2023. I told you guys my given name there, but I had to because it is mandatory for my students. But even then, they call me by my English name, Miles. So Miles is essentially the name I go by. Even at work, people go by my my pseudonym or my nickname, Miles. I do not go by my given name. I try not to, by the way. But just to recap about my given name, I was essentially born with the fate of somebody being bound to me. I don't know who the special someone is, but my given name is based off from that. It's already been foretold, which is the part that kind of hurts a little bit. So my given name was given to me because a prophecy was kind of foretold. My palm was read as a baby about my fate, which was given to me. My parents already pretty much given me my given name. So at that point, after my given name was given to me, I had my palm read about my fate, and coincidentally, the fates aligned with my given name. And so it was fated that somebody out there, some woman, is out there in need of me. But the question is, I don't even know who you are. So I will not tell you if she's older than me or younger than me, because I don't want to give you the full context. Because I did go... I'm not saying I did soul searching, but I went prophecy hunting. Because, man, I need to finish up fulfilling this goddamn role. But that was essentially the origins of my given name. So now I don't know exactly how it was going to go. But it's funny because, like I stated earlier, I spent my whole life trying to run away from my given name and from my fate. But there's a saying that when you try to run away and stray from the path, you ultimately end up on it. And my God, it's happening, man. Like all the check boxes are just checking one by one, and the part that is really scary is that every single one of them that I thought was impossible to get checked out on that checkbox of that list of things that will happen in my life. It just happens. Just one at a time. Like, boop, 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 boop. So, I was like, God damn it. God damn it. I don't know how many of you guys are still here watching this, but... dang. There's only one person watching, apparently, but... that is the origins of my given name, though. So, if you're a woman and you're out there, I don't know who you are, but I hope I find you, because my God, I know it's not a very happy story. It's a pretty sad one, actually. But I hope I can find you someday. Someday. Still here, a bit confused, but still here. Sadly, not a woman. Yeah, I know a lot of people are still confused, but I don't want to get too in-depth about it. But... It's a fate of being with somebody, but not one that is a happy one. I don't know if I can find this individual. Do I believe in it? No, I don't. I am not a believer in fate, or fortune telling, or hand reading, or fortune cookies. I think all of that is bullshit. But hey, don't hate me for saying that. But given my circumstances, you'll understand why I am like that. But for some reason, though, every single time those freaking check boxes, man, I swear, I try so hard to stray away from that annoying, like, fate of things that is going to happen, and it just keeps happening. Like, someday, though, if she does appear, I'm the luckiest person in the world. There's two sides of this story, actually. But I can't tell you what, because if I tell you what happens, it's not going to be the most happy ending. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a happy ending. But goddamn, I hate my given name, though. But yeah, to you out there, to that... I don't know, if a woman watches this, it could be you. It may not be you. I'll not say whether she's older or younger, but it's not a happy story. Just put it that way. I'm not saying it's a happy ending. Okay, look, it's not a sad ending. It's just not a happy story for this individual, which is why we're cursed and bound to one another. But I don't know what I have. I don't have any redeeming qualities. I really don't. I'm just a normal guy. Just kidding, no I'm not. I keep saying I'm a normal guy, but I said that as an excuse, just so like people can look at me as an ordinary person. Because I want people to treat me like I'm normal. I don't want people to treat me like I'm special. You know? So it's better if people treat me like a normal person. Like somebody, like a brother, a sister, or a best friend or something. Don't treat me like I'm some god on YouTube, man. Like, I don't bite, but... To you, woman, just kidding. No, but for real though, that is essentially the fate I was born with. And man, everybody left the moment I talked about it. It just goes to show you how boring it is. But to that woman though, it probably will mean something. Definitely will. It probably does mean something. I just don't know how the hell how it's gonna work out. But yeah though, guys. I have been streaming for a little bit, and I guess I'll call this a live stream for today. That's kind of funny. It was more so of a story time live stream and explaining about myself, rather than anything else. If you want to know my given name, just watch my 2023 dance introductory dance instructors video. But yeah. Someday though, okay, hold up. Before I actually leave though, if this woman does exist, and I somehow find her, I am gonna go 100%. I'm not gonna be... this me here that you see is gonna be anime me. I am gonna... just to put it that way. Because when I'm on point and not on my default mode like this, I am actually the closest thing resembling an anime character. Literally 101. But, I don't know what to say. Maybe I just tell her to forget. Was it right in I know the show, Like, I don't know. Just say something in Japanese, I guess. Maybe she is Japanese. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe she's French. La frase est la langue de l'amour. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe she's another language. God damn. See, you know how burdened I am by this face, just the way I'm talking. But yeah, without further ado, guys, thanks for watching. And I guess I'll call this a live stream for today. And if you did enjoy this video, and if you enjoyed this story time, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And also, support me on social medias. Links to everything's down below. And the Discord as well. And yeah. I hope that someday things will work out. And I think I'll get my job back for dance instructing, so let's hope for the best. So without further ado, that's really about it, guys. See you.